Welcome back to In Your Neighborhood. I'm your host, Charlotte Brown, and on today's show, we've been talking all about VON, Victoria Order of Nurses, and their big celebration as well as celebrating 120 years here in Canada.
That's right.
My guest today has been Lori Voth, and joining us now is also Tammy Kyoto. So Tammy is the Program Officer of Distance Education at Confederation College. So welcome to the show, Tammy.
Thank you.
So we were talking a lot about personal support workers, PSWs, and it's become a growing and popular program over at Confederation College.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have various programs or various intakes now. We have one that you can take in the fall time.
Yeah.
And then we have a compressed program through the Thunder Bay campus that you can do starting in January, and we call it the compressed program. There's the option of full-time and part-time.
Wow. So if people are maybe looking at a career shift or even taking on doing personal support working as a part-time option, you have some great ways to do that.
That's right, absolutely. What we do is we do have, because it isn't a group of students, what we do is we can custom tailor the training to the student to the extent that they can decide, do they want one course, two courses, three courses, and from that, with the schedule that's already developed for the full-time students, we just slip them in.
Right.
So if they want one course, they slip in with the one course with the full-time students, and they can do their learning that way.
Right. And you are in the distance education division at the college. So is the program offered in other campuses in the region besides Thunder Bay?
That's right. We have 9 campuses altogether. Mm-hmm. So the students can be anywhere there as well as outside. They can, in essence, be anywhere in Ontario. The only hindrance if they go outside of Thunder Bay is they have to realize they could potentially have to travel for their practical components.
Right.
But other than that, we don't have, you know what I mean, as long as they can access the learning through video conferencing,
mm-hmm. You can take it from anywhere.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's great. And just how far we've come in terms of technology and learning and
that's right.
You know,
and the flexibility and
the expense.
That's right. Absolutely. And it's beautiful because the students are able to, a lot of them stay in their home community, so they don't have to leave. And that's huge. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Huge for students that they don't have to leave their home community.
Yeah, for
We've
sure.
actually had some of our people that we've hired have been in long-term careers in construction or at some of the mills, and then they've had a sudden job loss, and they've gone back to the college and taken the PSW program and have started a whole new career.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about some of the program requirements.
Sure. So to come into the program, there are 2 requirements, let's say. One is you have to be a grade 12 graduate, or you could be a mature student if you've completed a mature student's assessment. And if you haven't, there's alternatives as well. We do have options. So for instance, you could come in and write a mature student assessment if you haven't done so previously, or you can go and take the General Arts and Science certificate, which will get you entrance into the program as well.
Wonderful. And let's talk about how the program's delivered and how long is the average personal support worker program, because I know you said there's a couple options there.
That's right. So again, part-time's a little bit hard because it's custom to the student. So it depends on how quickly they want to do it. If we have sort of a traditional setup for part-time, if they follow that, it's about 1.5 years for them to complete. If they want to do the full-time program, as mentioned previously, it's about 8 months. The compressed program is a little quicker. It goes from January till June, and then the students complete then. The delivery method, again, could be anywhere from having your teacher in front of you to having your teacher come to you through your computer. If you're on practical, you know, you might be with a preceptor with your instructor tapping in through various methods, or you could have your instructor on site. Just depends on how it's been set up for you.
Absolutely. And let's talk about some of the highlights of the program and what learners can expect from taking this kind of a program.
We try really hard to keep ourselves current, so we do have a program advisory committee. In fact, VON is one of our members on the committee, and they provide us with feedback on things that the industry needs, so that helps us keep our program up to date and relevant. When the students are in the program, they're allowed to go on placements. So there are 3 placements in total. You know, there's a community placement and a long-term care placements, and then a placement at the very end that can combine the 2 or just be 1. And it allows them to put their theory into practice. So it gives them hands-on, hit the street, ready to go, practical experience. So when they go out into the field after they've graduated, they've already been familiarized with, different settings that they potentially can access as employment.
Right, and this truly is a hands-on profession.
Absolutely, very much so. They're very much the frontline workers, in my opinion, and work very closely with individuals and provide them with that personal care. And
That's right. Oftentimes it's the PSW that will notice things that maybe family or other help may not have noticed. They're doing a bath with a person and they might notice a bed sore or some sort of ulcer that maybe family members wouldn't have noticed, and maybe the person doesn't have nursing in there, nobody else would be seeing that kind of thing, so then they can report it and the client can then get the care that they need from a medical standpoint as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's talk about that, the practical side of things. So you have a placement. So I take it you go to somewhere like VON would be somewhere you'd have a placement and you'd be buddied up with someone to kind of learn like what the job's all about and the kind of activities that you'd be doing, and
That's right.
a variety of activities and a variety of clients.
That's right. So they shadow one of the PSWs and they're encouraged to do all of the care themselves with one of our staff members who will then guide them or advise them as necessary. They do everything from the hands-on care to the charting to, if they have to call the office for something, they do everything as if they were the worker, and they're just shadowing with our employee.
That's wonderful. And let's talk about how people apply to the programs at the college.
we do have a website that will give you information to the program, as well as have a quick link button that will allow you to apply right from the web page. The website is confederationcollege.ca/PSW. So they can go there, they can learn about the program, and like I said, then apply through there. And it goes directly to Ontario colleges. They can speak to a recruitment officer, you know what I mean, even if they're a little bit unsure that this is the right choice for them, and that will help them make their decision if that's the route that they'd like to go.
Right, and the bonus is you pretty much are guaranteed a job upon graduation, which
So
there's
true.
not a lot of careers that you can choose that give you that.
That's right, absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's a huge selling factor, I think, for many. Absolutely.
So, Lori, I want to just ask you a few more questions in terms of why do you feel like it's important for having to choose a PSW in the community?
Well, I think the community setting is a lot different than what you would get in an institution. And it's all geared to what the client is, what their preference is, or what they're more comfortable with. We talked about the client being at home and how much more convenient it is for them, but it's also very convenient for the PSW. It offers a little bit more flexibility. Oftentimes, PSWs can choose to work split shifts if they want, if they have children that they have to get home from school and they want to do a morning shift and then come back in the evening. Sometimes, even if they're not working a split shift, if there's no time-sensitive clients that they need to see, they can rearrange their day around an appointment they might have, or they can plan for their lunch to be when it's most convenient for them. So it just gives them that little more flexibility than working a strict 7 to 3 or 3 to 11 type of shift
In different environments.
That's right. Yeah.
For sure. Now, I'm curious as to if a PSW certificate is necessary for employment.
Currently, it is not necessary for employment in the community. We will hire people who don't have a certificate. We prefer for them to have a certificate, and we do work with the Ministry of Health and with the college to provide funding for people who do want to get their PSW certificate after they've started employment with us. But mainly they would need to show that they do have experience in providing personal care for people and that they can do the job.
Absolutely. And if somebody was looking for a job as a personal support worker or other positions at VON, how would somebody go about applying?
We have a website, www.von.ca, and you would just click on careers and you can see anything that's open right now that you could apply for. They can also feel free to come to our office and drop off a resume in person. And if I'm there, I'd be more than happy to meet with them and just sort of see what they're looking for or what their goals are. We also have a fax number that they can send it to, which is 345-3476. And they can certainly feel, if they want to fax in their resume, they can do that as well.
Wonderful. Now, if anybody has any questions that's watching today, whether it's about getting services for someone that they need, or if they're interested in the program either at the college or about applying for a job, I'd love to wrap up with maybe some contact information that's the best way to get a hold of both of you.
Okay, for sure. If they want to get a hold of me, they can call our main office. It's 344-0012, and just ask to speak with me, and the secretary will put them straight through.
Wonderful. And
That's right. And the best phone number for the college would be our main line, which is 475-6110. And from there, they'll be able to express who they'd like to speak to and sort of where they're at the process and get directed.
wonderful. Well, I want to thank you ladies for being on the show today, and also to thank Stephanie as well for sharing her experience at the college and also as a personal support worker. Congrats again on celebrating 120 years in Canada. That's absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
So, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Be sure to watch next week with more on In Your Neighborhood.